Hey everyone, this is Mark Gamer Dude here, and I have the absolute best honor right now. I'm here with the current voice actor, Princess Daisy, Giselle Fernandez. Say hi!
Hello!
Okay, like I said before, thank you, Giselle, for coming in to do this interview. Thank you so much, huge honor.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So, I know I already have the fan questions that we sent in, but for me, my only have my three normal questions that I have. The first one is the most obvious one. So, Giselle, how did you get into doing voice acting? Did someone recommend you, or did you get into it gradually because you saw something, or you always had an interest in it?
Everybody's different. Yeah, I actually grew up doing it. Um,
Really?
yeah, as a kid, I did a lot of commercial voiceover over back east in Atlanta, where I'm from, because there are a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered in Atlanta, and my dad wrote commercials for a living and just kind of lined up. Yeah.
Oh wow, wow! I've heard of many. I don't know if you're familiar with Bryce Papenbrook. He told me when I interviewed him that he did stuff when he was a kid. So I'm like, man, I wonder how many other people are like that. Well,
Yeah,
there you
sometimes,
go.
sometimes you do something when you're young, and then you veer off in a different direction, and then you go, I really enjoyed doing that when I was young. I'm gonna give it another shot.
All right, all right, all right. You're doing a great job. So awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so the second one that I have, when you got into doing voiceover, were there any hurdles that you always see other people had to deal with? Like, I've been there. Do not let that, what's the word? Uh, push you down. I think is that the right term for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean a few things, I talk about from time to time, like the thing I see with like actors who are on the greener side, and sometimes like who are a little more experienced. It's hard sometimes to like let go of their surroundings and just like become the person that they're being, without all of the "oh God, how am I coming across? How are people perceiving me?" kind of stress. Um, and yeah, I that and like something that I know a lot of people get frustrated with when they first like start pursuing voiceover, and they've done all the classes and they've met all the right people, and sometimes they're even signed with an agent, and they're auditioning and auditioning and auditioning and auditioning and getting absolutely nothing back, and it's really disheartening, and it's hard, but like there are so many reasons for that, and a lot of them, most of them have nothing to do with your performance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always good to improve your performance and your skills, but also give yourself time, give the industry time, because like when I first signed with my agency out here, I didn't book anything with them for the first like 18 months or something. It was a long time, but that's because if someone's never heard your name before, they're not going to necessarily take a risk on working with you right out the gate, if they have other people who they know they like working with, who can do the same things, or who so you kind of have to have your name in front of their face a few times. You have to submit a few auditions for a particular casting director, or and that's not always something when you're submitting. But it takes a while for people to go, oh, okay, not only was that a good audition that one time, but they're consistently showing me that they're good at auditioning. That tells me that they're probably going to be good in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, patience is a big one.
Mm. Yeah, patience is definitely a virtue. I know as a voice actor myself, I'm still within the agency, and I'm still haven't mumbled anything, and I'm getting like good commercial things. I'm with one, and it's been a long time, and I still haven't. So that's always
Yeah,
worrisome with me every time. Even though I
yeah.
submit auditions, I'm worried like, do they think I'm good? Are they think I'm good?
Am I not good enough? Yeah.
Yeah, like my guy I'm worried with, he's great. He says, stop worrying, you're doing fine. Like, okay, but I'm just concerned all the time.
Right. Yeah. Like it's one thing if you're like getting feedback from people and ignoring it.
Hmm.
But it's another thing if people are like, yeah, I listened to your audition. It was good. I wouldn't tweak anything. If you didn't book, it's just how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so the third question when it relates to my thing, when you started doing voice acting, you see the booth that you had right now. Were there any recommended things for people to get in? But I do get people asking me like, my thing sounds terrible compared to yours. How is mine? Like I have a I work in but mine is not like yours. It's a closet with a lot of blankets around. But some of them have like even like high tech thing, but it sounds very blah. Is there anything that you can like recommend to anyone who is like getting their feet wet to go in?
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, you kind of just touched on it, hit the nail on the head. You know, it is important to have the right mic and the right audio interface and all this tech and stuff. That is important, but that's not step one. That's step 2 or 3. Step 1 is the main thing that influences how you sound on mic is your recording space. So if you have a closet space that you can record in, and you put a bunch of blankets up to dampen the noise, and you pause for helicopters or whatever, it'll sound good. It'll sound good enough to, it'll sound good enough to where your mic will start to make a difference. If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, like when I recorded Fire Emblem Heroes from my closet with like a fleece blanket I had like nailed to the wall and like
nice.
A piece of cardboard blocking the top because sound bounces up a lot in closets. Anyway, yeah. Like I had like my wardrobe here, a blanket here, and my computer here.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely get that. Like mine, I still have my AKG P420 mic that my parents got me for the holidays. I did not expect them to get that for me, because I had my usual Blue Yeti. But I know I've been meaning to upgrade, but they knew how much I wanted to do voiceover work, and before I didn't have like a stand or anything, and I had to like sit down and be in my booth the entire time with a Blue Yeti, and that was way
Hunched
before.
Over your little like
yeah,
stand.
exactly. With a blanket over my head, and it didn't sound good at all. And I mean, even I could tell. So that's why they knew that they had to set it up and they surprised me with it. So bless them for that.
Yeah.
Hey. So we're already getting onto the fan question that you guys asked. You guys asked a lot. So I dialed down a couple. So and sent over to Giselle for approval, and they approved a lot, and some veto. But whatever, we have some that we can be answered. So the first one is actually from a big Daisy fan, who's a big Daisy fan. So I just had to ask her to send me this question. So she asked to you. What was it like to voice Daisy? Did they listen to Deanna Mustard's voice to get inspiration? And they also want to know what your favorite Mario game is.
Both good questions. Voicing Daisy is a dream. I mean, it's fun. It's as fun as you imagine it being. I mean, because in the world of voice acting, like, you have to mentally put yourself in the place where you are. And to be able to go into work and be asked to mentally put yourself into a Mario game is the funniest thing in the world. I mean, yeah, like, I always like, I have a very strong sense of visualization in my head. I can see things in my brain really clearly. So like when I'm acting, I can like, I picture Daisy doing the little hops and doing the little thing, and I'm like, that's how I'm able to make those noises, because I'm like actively picturing myself as Daisy doing them, if that makes sense.
That is 100% 101 with voice acting. Whenever I'm doing anything, I have to imagine me in a thing. Sometimes I don't get it right off the bat, but once I do it over and over, it comes in and I'm good.
Yeah, it takes some practice, and not everybody's brain works the same. Some people don't like picture things in their head. They're more like words and concepts and feelings and things. But yeah, whatever works for you, that's the thing that works for me. As for Deanna Mustard, I've never spoken to her. I've never like met her or anything like that. But she seems lovely. I'd love to, if I ever do happen upon her one day, I'd love to chat with her. But voice actors don't usually really get to know each other. it's a very isolating industry. It's hard to like meet each other beyond like doing a convention together, or if a project happens to have a rap party, which is rare. Things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have like a favorite Mario game?
Yes. Do I have a favorite? I don't know if I have a favorite, but I mean Mario Kart. I gotta say Mario Kart. I'm not gonna. I'm boring. Yeah. It's because that's the most fun. I mean, Mario Party's also fun, but Mario Kart is more. I don't know. It's like it's more fast paced. It's more like. I don't know. I like that competitiveness,
Chaos?
even though I'm not. Yeah, chaos. That's what it is. I'm like, I'm not competitive. What is that? I love chaos. I'm a big.
Hey, look, Mario Kart and Mario Party, every time you play with anyone, family, friends, it all ends with the same thing. Friendship destroyer, family destroyer, it happens all the time. It happens, but it's fun.
Maybe that's why I love them so much. I'm not competitive.
Nice.
But,
All right. So, the second question right here says that what was your like favorite moment during Daisy recordings has been?
I don't have like a particular favorite moment. I've had a lot of really cool favorite moments. But I gotta say, probably like my first session for Super Mario Brothers Wonder, because that was my first time voicing Daisy, and I was like, I wasn't like nervous, but I was more like excited nerves, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just, like. Everybody there was so cool, and it was just such a like fun, wonderful session where like everybody cared so much about this thing we were putting all this work into, and it was just a great experience.
I totally get that. As long as they can make you feel comfortable and you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the other question that was approved here is that Deanna Mustard said that she always got physically active in the booth while voicing Daisy. Have you found yourself doing the same?
Yep.
Yes, all right.
I'm physically active always. Like I'm a very frenetic person in general. But when you're acting, especially like big like characters like Daisy, like big energy characters like Daisy, I should say, you gotta get involved physically, or or it's just gonna sort of sound like you're standing in a booth making noises,
I totally get that.
Yeah, as long as, the main thing, as long as you're on mic, as long as your face is like right lined up, the rest of your body can be doing whatever the heck, as long as you're not, making a bunch of noises that the engineer's like, well.
Yeah, or you accidentally knock over the mic where you like raise your face, like if you're like because I remember that Deanna Mustard said that for like the striker games, for like the soccer thing, they're extreme. Like if imagine you're punching and accidentally you knock over the mic by accident, but you got too into it.
I would say my first session recording for Daisy, I didn't punch the mic. Thankfully, all of the tech was unharmed. I did fully knock over my water bottle, and we had to pause the recording to mop it all up.
That's so cool. Yeah. Nice. All right. So the other question that was proposed was here saying, what was your reaction when you learned you would be the new voice of Daisy? Obviously, you were very ecstatic, but everyone would be ecstatic if you get a voice of character in a Mario game, of course.
Oh yeah. I'll be honest. The biggest like emotional reaction I had was when I received the audition, because I got the audition, and I get auditions for cool stuff all the time. So this was just like, oh, okay, another opportunity to do a cool thing. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna get it. I don't usually get them. That's fine. That's not true. I've done a lot of cool stuff. But at the time, it was sort of like, whatever. And the audition was, and here are Deanna's voice clips, if you can sort of match the same character, Daisy. And I listened to the reference, and that was when I had my big emotional reaction. Because when I listened to the reference, as somebody who's been voice acting pretty much my whole life, I do know my voice very well.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I can do something. Sometimes I listen to like a vocal reference for voice match, and I'm like, I could try that. I'll try it. But that was one where I was like, that's just my range. That's just me. I could just do that. I could just do that. And that was like, oh crap. Like, that was the moment where I was like, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. Unless I screw this up, this is mine. So, crap, now I gotta not screw up.
Nice. Oh,
There
man.
we go.
I have been there so many times with auditions whenever I hear something like, I could try that. Why not? Let me see. And there have been times where I'm like, am I really sure I can do this? Why did I get this? Why am I doing this for? Why am I here? And then I try it and then I get it. Like, I auditioned for a villain and I'm like, I'm way too, like, nice and sensitive.
Happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, like, way too bad. Like, that's my rate, but I'm like that. And when I got a role of a villain who's a killer, I'm like, what? I mean, sure, try. And I did. And thankfully it wasn't a visual thing, it was like an audio book, but even then, hearing that is kind of scary at the same time. My parents don't want to listen to it, but it's very out of character for me, like, my son's not a, whoa, no!
Hang on, well, it's acting, Mom, you know?
just wait till I get a visual one and it's on screen, like, aren't you going to support me? Like, yes, but...
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, the next one right here was, what's their favorite Daisy voice line so far?
I mean, it's hard to beat Wowie Zowie.
Wowie Zowie!
Oh, yes.
It's hard to beat.
It is.
It's just so fun. It's just the funnest. It's so fun.
It is, honestly. I know when people heard it, like, oh, wow, that's actually funny and cute to hear, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah. Okay, so, technically you already, already answered this, since this question says, what desire do you to play Daisy, which you kind of technically already answered, since you say, like, you saw the audition, you, like, I could do this, you know, like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the industry sort of works in, like, less of a, aha, I see a role and I'm going to go towards it to voice it. And more of a client has a project and goes, here are these roles that you can voice. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. I know that I've been, like I said, I've been in the shoes many times, so I like, just try, why not? And again, even if there's but sometimes you get an audition for something that you don't even know the name of, you just say this word or match the thing. But sometimes you could like hear a reference, but you don't know the game. Like, imagine I tried out for Bowser and I'm not a Mario fan, and I would audition for that and like, okay, why not? And then Bowser's like, oh my God, what? So it could happen. It can happen.
It could. I mean, some projects, you know, I think for Nintendo, a lot of the times they want people who actually do, who are like passionate about the project, and but you know, that's a lot of voice actors are passionate about doing voice acting.
Exactly.
So I mean, the reason I wanted to voice Daisy is because hello, it's Daisy. Not for nothing, she's the coolest princess. But it was less of me going, you know, I didn't know they were looking for someone new for that role until they reached out with the audition, which is usually how it goes in the industry, is you don't know if they're casting or recasting or what's going on until it's being sort of presented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one they ask you is, if you could play any Mario character that wasn't Daisy, who would you play?
Toad.
Oh, Toad, wow. Not even a second thought. You didn't even time to think. You just say Toad. Okay.
Toad. Because here's the thing. Okay, when you're me and you play any Mario game ever, you make the voices with the little speech thing comes up, like, I don't skip through those. My friends skip through those. I love them. I do the stupid little voices.
I
And
totally get
Toad is
it.
always my favorite one. Toad.
Nice. I know many people love doing the total impression whenever they talk. I do it sometimes. My cousins tell me to stop. I was like, God, stop! You're annoying. Like, but you're gonna have to deal with me the rest of your life. So deal with it.
Sorry. The
It's
category of references is only going to get bigger.
exactly. Okay. So last question right here does approve. Where was there any pressure for you to live up to the original voice of Daisy? If so, how did you overcome it?
Totally fair. Totally valid question. There should be, right?
Mhm.
But I think at the point when I got Daisy, I was at a point in my career where, I'm not I'm the best voice actor in the world. Like, I know I'm
Mhm.
not like, but I'm good at my job and I
Mhm.
love it. And Daisy, that's just a role that I know that I'm going to have fun doing, and I know that I'm going to be able to just happily throw my all into. So, because I'm comfortable in that in myself, especially for a character like Daisy. For sometimes I get nervous with like roles I book where I'm like it's an accent that I got to really practice the day before, and things like that make me a little like sometimes. But Daisy, I was never worried about living up to what had already been done because I don't know. I was already so there with it, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like, yeah, I wasn't intimidated by it. I was excited by it, if that makes sense. I maybe should have been intimidated, but.
Hey, that happens sometimes when you're stepping into something that's already like an iconic thing. Not even when it comes to casting. People God forbid if any voice actor passes on and someone else has to obviously step in. There's obviously going to be a lot of pressure, especially even if you like sound extremely similar to the person. Sometimes there are fans who prefer other things, or you have to worry about like God. I am stepping into this in my lifetime. Am I really up for this? Like, of course I'm gonna enjoy it, but
Yeah.
the pressure of like, I really hope I'm I'm good. It can happen.
Yeah, no, totally. You can really get in your head. I mean, especially voiceover, because guess where most of voiceover happens? In your head.
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I think, trying not to psych yourself out. Because also, I've had
Hmm.
slight anecdote. Back when I was in college, I did this like short film role for a comic that pre-existed,
Hmm.
and I played one of the main characters. And it was like a Kickstarter film, and it was on camera. And it was I was going in with a character that these fans of this comic already knew, already loved. I was a fan of this comic. I knew and loved her. I knew that I didn't like look like her because she's a comic book character and I'm a human. I have brown hair. She has blue hair. Things
Hmm.
like that where it's like we could have gotten a wig, but then it would have been a little looked weird. Like that's not what they were going for. So when that came out, actually when the preview for that came out, something promo for it came out or something. The YouTube video for it was so many commenters of like, who is this person playing Emily? They're ugly, they're fat, they don't look like her, they're probably bad at act, like all this stuff where it's like people were just like really going for it on me of like they don't even look like,
Hmm.
and I don't do on camera usually for a lot of reasons, but
Yeah.
one of them is I don't want to have to think about how I look.
Right.
And I don't want other people thinking about it. So, so I don't know. When that happened, it felt like a very good lesson of like, these are a bunch of people who have opinions because they had a picture in their head of what it was supposed to look like, and that what happened wasn't aligning with it. and
Mm-hmm.
that's fine, but that has nothing to do with me. Um, so, you don't know what you're talking about. And also, none of you matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was a long time ago. Um, now that I'm like, a professional actor, I mean, I do care what people think about my performance and things,
Mm-hmm.
but the extent to which I care about what people think sort of begins and ends at, do they know what they're talking about? And if no, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been able to I've learned to let go of a lot of that kind of thing, and I think that helps me in like voiceover, not be so intimidated by some of these like roles and clients and opportunities.
Right. Well, that answers all the questions then for fans. I know you said you wanted to answer a question that someone posted for you in Blue Sky a couple days ago. You said, what
Yeah.
was what was the question and what would the answer be?
Right. So they had asked. I had posted a thing about how important timing is in voiceover because it is. It's.
Mm-hmm.
But I cited the example of commercial voiceover because that's where I come from, and it's the easiest sort of to explain. But timing comes to play in all kinds of. I mean, obviously dubbing, but video games too, especially, because you'll have, with things like Princess Daisy. Most of the voice lines are reactions, they're efforts, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's jumping, she's running, she's getting electrocuted.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those vocal reactions have a maximum timestamp. So, like, if she's pushing a box, for example, we'll record multiple lengths of her pushing that box. So it'll be like a short push of a box, like meh, and then we'll do a slightly longer and do a slightly longer one. But all of those have very specific time codes that they have to fit because they have to fit the animation effect.
Right.
And that's all across all video games. Is like there is sometimes you'll find areas where there's more strict timing because of something else happening in a scene, or it's because any number of things. The animation effect is shorter, or there's another one, or it's like a dual thing. There are times where you have to fit a very strict time.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, it's like if it comes in under, half a second or 0.2 seconds or whatever it is, then you're good. You're clear. You can move on. So that's how that comes into play in video games and animation too sometimes. But it comes into play everywhere. But that's how it comes into play in video games.
Okay. Well, Giselle, that's basically all the questions that we had for you. Thank you to Giselle Fernandez for coming in. They did a great job with this. I'm so glad we answered all the questions that you guys had and the questions that I had. Thank you for answering them. So, Giselle, is there anything that you want to hand off to say to the fans who are watching and answered it and send in so many questions and such?
Thanks for all your questions. They were wonderful questions. I enjoyed answering them, and thanks for being a fan. I do like really appreciate fans, and I really I love it when people are just like a big fan of Daisy, because same. It's just another thing I can be like, oh yeah, I relate to you on that level for sure. Because Daisy's wonderful.
Yes, exactly. I'm
I'm
on the nose with Mario Wonder. Wonderful, Wonder.
Hey.
All right, all right, right. Thank you so much, Giselle, again. I will let you know when I post the thing on YouTube and such, and I will tag you, of course, whenever of course, with a YouTube link and such. So again, thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.